Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the cards for the 14th of June 2017. Now, it's been a while since I've had a rant, but I can feel one coming on. I don't know what is going on with the energies. Yesterday was absolutely crazy. It was crazy on a personal level with people that I am personally connected to. And the messages and emails and things I got yesterday were absolutely off the map. Okay, I really don't know what was going on. I don't know if there was a huge injection of ego sort of dumped on the world yesterday, but it was everybody was in fight and attack mode. And like I say, that this happened within my personal life as well. So there's a few things that I just need. I like to nip things straight in the bud, so that they don't fester. And I just need to say these. First of all, I do not offer free readings, okay? I do daily videos, I do weekly videos, and I do monthly videos, okay? That's probably about 25 hours work, okay? So that is what I give free every single week, okay? So that is it. That is my contribution to the whole, okay? Whether you want to book a reading with me after that, that's fine. Nobody is obliged to do it. So please, a refusal often offends. So if you ask for free readings, then you're not going to get it. Okay, so just to let you know that. Secondly, if you don't like this channel and you don't like the way that I read tarot, then don't come here. It's make life easier for all of us involved. I don't want to put you on a downer. I don't want to piss you off for the way that I read tarot. This is the way I do it. And there are plenty of readers out there that will read tarot in the way that you want it, okay? Yesterday I was told of somebody that I have no empathy. And, that is quite, it's quite comical because, there's a lot of empathy there. But I am not going to sugarcoat things. I don't sugarcoat. I give the messages the way they come out to me. I don't sit and plan what is going to come out. I don't go through the cards and pick a card and say, all right, I'm going to read this one today. I read what comes through and I read it in the way that Spirit give me the messages, okay? Now, there are plenty of people that watch these that are tarot readers. I watch other tarot readers, and I learn from them. And they might have a card that I would see that differently, but that is their style and I am going there for their message, okay? So, like I say, I take from that message what I need. If it doesn't resonate, then that's great. If it carries on not resonating, then I sort of think that's not the reader that I'm connecting with and I move on, so please, nobody forces you to come here. I love everybody being here. It used to be 99% of the people that watch this, I absolutely adore and love. It's now getting to about 95%, because there's been a bit of an insurge, and like I say, there seems to be a different energy. So what I want to say, the 95% that I get messages from, that I read from, that I connect with, that appreciate these readings, that take something from them, thank you. Massive, massive thanks to you. I am deeply, deeply grateful for you and I appreciate it, and those of you if you send me an email, I will get back to you. It might not be on the same day because I'm very busy, but I always reply to people. This is what I do. I take the time because I do value you. Okay, so like I say, just if you don't like it here, don't come, and it's like you don't go to a restaurant, that you don't like, and you don't continuously eat the same food and say this is horrible. You go to another restaurant. In the same way, when you go to a restaurant, you don't go up to the chef and say, you don't cook it like that. It's just, this is it. I give the messages that I'm meant to give that day. They are not personal from me. Okay, and like I say, I am a psychic. I am an intuitive reader. I don't follow the book. I did when I first started years and years ago, but I have learned through that. So, quite interesting with the cards today, actually, that fits in. Another thing I want to say as well is, please, if you are going to book a reading with me, please could you book through my website? if you just send me money via PayPal, you know, like I say, I am deeply grateful for it, but it causes a lot of confusion because there's emails going back and forth about times, and there's so many people in different time zones. That is the reason why I've paid for this booking system, so that this booking system makes it simpler for everybody, okay? So go to my website, click on the reading that you want. It will take you to a booking form. That will give you my schedule of when I am available. Okay, click on when you want. Your time zones, all the time zones are there, so you can do it wherever. Click on the time zones, book the reading. It then takes you to payment, and then you get a confirmation email. I get a confirmation email, and we're all sorted. It's simple, you know, there's a reason why that is actually in place, you know. So please, if you do want to book a reading, please book it through my website, because that makes things easier for all of us involved. Okay, so right, 5 minutes ranting. This is like, it's ridiculous, honestly. But you know, it's I think the patience of a saint at times. And you know, I do try, okay? I do. I try my best with this, even when I have stuff going on personally, okay? At the moment, I have quite a lot going on personally, okay? But I'm here, I'm there, I'm here to do the readings, okay? And I'm here to give the messages that need to be given, okay? So please just, you know, I give a lot of respect out. Please just a little bit of it back, you know, that would be much appreciated. So right, the cards today, bizarrely enough, two fell out. We have the High Priestess and the Hierophant. Now, these are both teachers, and quite interesting. If we have a look at those cards, they are both very, very different. Now, when these two come out together, what this is talking about is like, you know, this is sort of an initiation period into life's deeper workings. You know, so this is you gaining new knowledge, you know, or sacred knowledge, knowledge that has always been there. But because of your spiritual journey, you are now starting to become aware of it, or you have this thirst for it, you know. Like I say, I've said, everybody that watches these, we're all seekers, we're all looking for something, you know. And within these two, they are both teachers within their own right, but both very, very different. The High Priestess, this talks about your intuition, okay? The High Priestess, she just knows. You know, she instinctively knows. Like I say, this is using her psychic abilities, you know. When I was a kid, I would see things and stuff, which at the time I didn't realize what it was, you know, but I would see auras on people. I would get feelings. I would get all of this. I thought that was actually normal because, you know, it was what I had grown up with all of the time. It was there from being very, very young. Okay. So this is this deep knowing, you know, and like I say, she understands the spiritual. She doesn't need to study it, you know, although study always does come in, but the High Priestess doesn't need to. She just knows, and she instinctively knows, you know. She hears, she sees, she's clairvoyant, she's clairaudient, you know, she feels, she's clairsentient, you know. This is it. She has all of the clairs, and this is what the High Priestess is. She taps in, she knows the hidden secrets here because she taps into the moon. She sort of feeds on the moon's energy, you know, and feeds from the earth. So this is it. Her teacher is the world or the universe. Now, the Hierophant is different. The Hierophant is somebody who has learned this, you know, who was set off on a quest to learn enlightenment, you know, rather than actually just physically feel it. And he is very disciplined, you know. He is study and then he practices it, you know, and so that is how he raises to the spiritual, okay? Because the thing is with this as well is I feel that there are a lot of things that can't be learned from a book. You know, there's somebody I know has read so well read. I mean, they must have read, God, in excess of 500 like sort of spiritual books. Yet they say it and they say the words, but they don't practice the words that they say within their life, because they have read it from a book. They have not got it through experience. Okay, my cousin is a drug and alcohol counselor, and she's never took drugs in her life. And I've had this with her before, and she can sympathise, but she can't empathise with people that have had drugs because she has never been to that place. You know, so this is what I'm talking about. This is where the difference is with this, okay? So what this is talking about is that, like, you may be at a time now when you are, you know, seeking answers from within, and both without. So it's like delving into your subconscious mind, which is the high priestess here. So this is it. So learning to tap on your intuition, learning to follow your self-guidance, you know, but then at the same time, seeking out a spiritual teacher or a guide, you know, so that can be explained to you in a better way. Because when we are first developing, when we are first connecting to the spiritual side of life, it can be very confusing. You know, a lot of us think we're going mad, you know, especially when we start hearing voices and stuff like that. But when these voices start telling us the truth or things that are going to happen, then we cannot ignore that, okay? So this is when it's like, right, okay, I need to understand exactly what is happening. And this is what happened within my journey. You know, all of this stuff was happening. Then I was hearing voices and I was thinking, oh, right, okay, I've totally lost it here, you know, took far too many drugs in my childhood or something like that. But then I started to seek out teachers, and, you know, these teachers were teaching me how to navigate through this. They were teaching me how to have the discipline that the Hierophant brings with it, but how to use that with my intuition and my knowing that was already there. So it was like polishing it up a little bit, you know. So the Hierophant is very much of the physical world, the 3D world. The high priestess is very of the 5D. And this is what I always say, it's about bringing these two together, you know. So this is what this is talking about. So it's saying at the moment that there's like you're looking for a deeper sense of meaning. Even if you're not looking for it, I feel it's coming, okay? But this is only to empower you. This is why it is coming. This is why it is showing up now. And what the high priestess says here is, you know, you can close your ears if you don't want to hear. You can close your eyes if you don't want to see. But you cannot stop this initiation of the soul. Because this initiation that you're on, this path, this journey, it will take you down into the underworld. It will take you down into the depths, okay? And then it will transfer you back up to the limits, you know? So this is it. Within any journey, you know, a spiritual journey, there is ups and downs. There is highs and lows. There is understanding. There is confusion, you know? But this is when we learn. This is when we learn. We cannot learn unless we experience, you know. And like I say, you know, I know that there are people watching these that are going through shitty times. I've had shitty times in my life, you know. Who's to say you don't know if I'm going through a shitty time like now, you know? Nobody knows that. But what I do know and what I can guarantee is that you will get through it, because you have to, and you will learn from it and you will grow. Okay, so when I get people saying to me, you have no empathy, you know, you're just saying everybody's having a pity party. No, I'm not. I'm saying that, you know, shit happens within life. And as soon as we start to just deal with it and see what gift is in it for us, that will get us out of that shitty place better, you know. Staying there and wallowing doesn't help us. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help us serve. It doesn't help us. It doesn't empower us. You know, it keeps us small, and we are not here to be small. We are here to be enlightened. And the sooner we actually realize that, and the sooner we get enlightened, this is when we reach the sort of goal, you know, which is our happiness. And that is what we are searching for. You know, we want this peace of mind. We want to be at peace with ourselves. We want to be at peace with the world. We want to understand it, and we want to be happy, you know. That is it. Many people go off on different routes to try and find their happiness, you know. They go down the financial route, you know. They go down all of this. But unless they find it within themselves, they will never, ever find this happiness. They will still always be searching, you know. So this is what these cards are saying today. Sorry. This is saying your life is changing, okay? And this might not be what you've wanted it to be, but this is happening because this is evolution. You know, we are evolving. We are evolving as spiritual beings. We come onto this earth to learn lessons. That is why we are here, you know? That is why we were here, to learn lessons. And if we don't learn them, we will have to keep going back and resitting and going through the same old dramas again, you know? When we start to recognize the ego, when we start to recognize that it's not our friend, and when we start to recognize that by letting go of the ego, we let go of a lot of our problems. You know, this is when you are at that stage where it's like, right, okay, I understand now. So this is saying things may be becoming clearer. Things that were puzzling you may becoming clearer now, but it's still all not revealed. You know, we never stop learning. But this card is you know, I always talk about creativity and how creativity can, you know, unleash something in us. And this card is often seen as the card of like writers and poets and musicians and artists, you know, because that is a way that we subconsciously can allow what is inside out. You know, when I first started studying art, I didn't realize that I was actually, it was a form of therapy. And once I would do get these ideas and I would start working on these ideas, and then when I would stand back and look at the finished piece, it would be like, wow, you know, it was like a, do you know what I mean, like a psychology thing. It was therapy, you know, because I was releasing and I was letting things out there. So this is saying, you know, like, this is about exploring your unconscious mind, you know, what is there, not what we are told to think, or not what we have been conditioned to think as well. So it's saying trust your instincts, take notice of your dreams as well. There's a mysterious feel comes with the high priestess all of the time. But like I say, trust her, she knows. Okay? Then we have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is like sort of a spiritual teacher. And if we have a look at this card, he's gone from being a child. You know, many of the Buddhist monks actually start off as children, and then they progress and they progress and they progress, you know, throughout life. And this is what it's talking about, you know, the stages of learning. It's very much like school. You know, we start off at nursery or kindergarten, then we go into middle school, then we go into the high school, then sometimes we go to college, and then sometimes we go to university. And this is not because, you know, we're learning all of the time, but we want to further our knowledge, you know, because we want to be the best that we can be. So then we do masters, then we do PhDs, etc. You know, and this is what this is talking about. This is studying, you know, hard work and studying. And, you know, the Hierophant is quite... The Hierophant understands because he's got to this level, you know, he's like I say, he's like the Dalai Lama in this. And he knows that it is important to go through these stages as well. So it's mixing the two, you know, it's mixing your experience, you know, and then it's mixing knowledge or seeking knowledge from somebody else. You know, like I say, people are watching these tarot videos, you know, not to just say that the tall dark stranger is going to come in next week. You know, I hope not anyway, because that is, you know, to me, tarot is not about predictions. Tarot is about learning, and it's about learning how to navigate this thing called life. And it's about, you know, it's about like, it's like a sat nav. It's an empowerment. It's making us understand. That is what I see tarot is, you know. Now, this card is saying, you know, like at the moment, you might be finding things hard and you're not getting the outcomes that you wish, you know, and it's like, why am I battling? But the thing is, if you're not getting the outcome that you wish, that is because it is not for you. You know, you are not on the right path. And if you are coming up against blocks all of the time, there's a reason for that, you know. And it's saying, you know, if you have resistance to this learning that is there, you know, the way your soul is actually taking you, you know, you've got to actually look at that. So a lot of times within life when we're having a problem, and this is what people hate, because I always say, look at the part you're playing in this. And people are straight away ready to blame other people, but they don't look at what they're playing in it. I've said this before, there's a great book called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And I got that book to actually understand why other people were the way they were. And what I'd done was I actually understood, you know, where I'd been going wrong, where I was the cause of a majority of my problems, you know, because I was living from an ego base or a fear base or other, you know, traits that come in with the ego, you know. And I go back and I revisit it again all of the time, you know, because it's once it's there, you can slip back into the old ways. So it's a constant, you know, it's like I say, you go to the gym, you get a fantastic body, you get all these muscles. If you don't work them, You know, they're going to disappear. Just because you once had them and you once had their muscles doesn't mean that they're going to stay forever. And this is the same with any learning that we have. We can slip back into old habits. Look at anybody who's driving and they've been driving for years. Do you think you would actually pass your test if you were going to put in your test now? You know, when we're learning, we do everything right because that is the way we've been taught. And then we get quite flippant with it. And we think, oh yeah, we know best, you know, and we've developed bad habits. We can still drive. We're still getting the same outcome. But like I say, would it actually pass the test? You know? So the Hierophant is quite stubborn, and the Hierophant is quite a harsh teacher, you know? And he's like, you know, he will beat you and he will make things hard for you until you actually learn the lesson, you know? But this is only because he wants you to live a harmonious life. He wants you to understand it. So when this card comes, it's talking about a spiritual kick up the butt, you know? This is it. This is what he wants to do to you. He's like, look, I'm not taking any of your bullshit, you know? This is it. He's not going to sit and go, oh, yeah, come here. There, you're okay, you know? What good does that do anybody? You know, it's nice to be comforted, yes, but comfort does not actually move you forward. So this is when the Hierophant comes in to give you this kick up the butt and say, look, this is it. This is how you've got to do things, you know? Stop digging your heels in. Stop trying to resist, because this is when your problems will persist. You know, he is telling us there is something higher. You know, we need to trust in that. We need to understand it more, you know, and we need to understand ourselves more, because in understanding the way the universe works, you know, then this is when we can understand us more as well, you know. Now, teachers are very important within life as well, you know, and it's like, you know, I've had a lot of teachers. I've had teachers I've sought out. I've had teachers who have just been in my life that I didn't even realize that were teachers, you know, and each one has opened a doorway and they've showed up at the right time when they were needed. And every single one has been valuable as well, massively valuable. So some of my greatest teachers in life have been people that have caused me pain, you know, or what some people would say has wronged me. You know, it's not. It's, you know, they done what they had to do. I didn't go to a class. I didn't seek these out or anything like that. You know, some of them I've had relationships with. Some are family members, friends, acquaintances, bosses, you know, whatever. But, you know, I've learned from these people. I've learned maybe, you know, where to put my trust, who I don't want to be, you know, or stuff like that. I've learned something within all of them that will, you know, that has aided my growth. I have also sat with spiritual teachers, some quite, you know, spiritual teachers who are, you know, amazing and massively valuable. And, you know, like I say, the knowledge that I got from them was, you know, so valuable. You know, I have also seen teachers turn bad as well, you know, and see the ego come out in somebody who you once put on a pedestal. And that, you know, that is a lesson in itself, you know. So like I say, we are all learning all the time, and we will find teachers, you know, and the teacher that resonates with us will come to us, you know. But what I always say with all teachers is take down what they teach you, because that is their version of it as well. You know, I watched a great video last night about somebody. It was this guy arguing with an atheist, and it was really funny, because there's this guy that this atheist is a genius. He was a very, very intelligent guy, and this guy was arguing, yeah, but Jesus said this and Jesus said this, and he just shot him down, you know. And it was quite interesting to watch. But like I say, none of us are the same. None of us work on the same level. So like I say, different teachers will resonate with different ones. But the best thing to do with teachers is, you know, take what they teach, break it down, take out the bits that work for you. You know, I don't believe in God as such. You know, I've said this, I'm not religious, but I have studied a lot. You know, I have studied it. I've taken what works for me. I've tried to implement that into my life, you know. And some things I don't agree with within certain teachings, but then I really agree with others. So it's just like, it's a bit like a pick and mix, you know, what works for you, you know, and what works for you will then work better for the whole. Because we are all teachers and students. We are all learning all of the time, you know. And a good teacher, a good spiritual teacher is there to make you recognize your ego so that you can then diminish it, you know. They won't ask you to obey them. You know, Yogi Bhajan said, don't follow me, you know, practice my teachings. That's it. That's what I want. He didn't want praise. He didn't want admiration. He didn't want anything like that. He just said, you know, follow the teachings. Then your life will be better. Don't put me on a pedestal. You know, it's like false gods, isn't it? You know, but a good teacher will just give you a nudge and will wake you up. This is what it is, you know. They won't sit there stroking your head, you know. It's not about that. It's like, right, come on, there's work to do. And this is it. We all have work to do here. You know, the Yogi Bhajan again said, to be a teacher is to have spirit. A spiritual teacher should have spirit and live with that spirit. He should teach fearlessly and graciously and nicely and humanely and humbly as well. Don't look for a teacher, look for integrity. Look for the one who can integrate the total of the infinity with the reality in the finite of the self and still laugh. So this is it, you know. This is the two of these, you know. Life doesn't have to be hard. We can find laughter within everything, you know. Look for teachers who actually practice what they preach, you know. See if somebody, you know, see if they're sort of, you know, if they are living their words, if their actions and their words coincide, you know, because that is really what I feel you need to do, you know. Or look at people whose qualities you admire, who are living their lives that despite bad times, despite hardships, you know, they still laugh and they're still open and they're still giving, you know. When life doesn't make you hard, that is when you are learning lessons, you know, and you've learned that because being hard, like I mentioned yesterday, you know, there was the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups, you know, the Queen of Swords has cut off through life things that have happened within life. But what that does is that keeps her closed, okay? That doesn't open life up. The Queen of Cups has often had a lot of things happen within her life, but she has kept her heart open with it. You know, and this is what we need to do. When we go hard and rigid and cold, you know, this is when we are turning off what we are here to do. You know, we are here to love. And like I say, you know, people say that, you know, I'm either too fluffy or not fluffy enough. You know, I'm not. I just see it as it is, you know. It's like I say, when we come from a love base, our life gets better. When we come from a fear base or ego base, our life gets worse. Okay, we attract more problems. Things affect us more, you know. When you are open and when you are giving love, that is when, you know, it doesn't matter what happens within your life, you can deal with it by giving love back, and you then have more of a peace of mind within yourself, you know. So, right, okay, there's the Osho card is guidance, and this is the Three of Rainbows. I really, really like this card. And this is saying, you know, that there is guidance around us all the time. But if we have a look, that woman's turning her back to it, you know. And this is, like I said there, you know, you can put your fingers in your ears, you can cover your eyes and you can not see it. But that doesn't mean it's going to go away, you know. It doesn't mean the hardships are going to go away. It doesn't mean the guidance is going to go away. You could cut yourself off to spirit, but spirit are always there. The second you go to turn back onto them, they're there. They don't take the hoof and say, oh, no, right, I'm not going to speak to you because you didn't speak to me, you know. They're not like that because they are ego-free. That would be the ego doing this. So what this is saying is that you have guidance all of the time, you know. Your soul is telling you what to do. The universe is telling you what to do. You just need to shut your mind up so that you can hear them. You know, that is it. When you are feeling confused, it is because you are not tapping into either yourself or the universe. You know, you are not practicing what you are preaching. That is when you are feeling this confusion, you know. So you need to just flow. This is what guidance is telling you. Accept it. Accept that this is how your life is at the moment and do what you can to get out of that quickly. You know, look for the solutions, not the problems. This is what is needed, you know. So this is it. It's like taking time to feel as well, you know. And this is what we have. Our feelings, our gut always show us the way to go, you know. When we start to listen to this inner guidance and this outer guidance that we get, This is when we start to radiate light again. I was actually lying in bed last night thinking about it, and it was like, I hate this term love and light. I really, really don't like it, but it is true, But what I hate about it is the fact that people will send me emails, absolutely either horrific emails or totally passive-aggressive emails, and then they'll end it with love and light, or they'll end it with namaste, and it's like, you know what, fuck off. I can't be bothered with that. Practice what you preach. You can't say love and light, and be absolutely, horrific and ego-fueled, and then say love and light at the end of it, and that makes everything all right. It's not like the magic word that dissolves it, It's like I say, if you're saying love and light, then practice it. So when you allow this guidance in, this is when you get this light. And when this light comes in, the darkness simply disappears straight away, If you think you can be in a darkened room and you switch that switch and the light comes on and instantly it's not dark now and you can see exactly what's there. Sorry. That's really tickled me there. Right, I can't say what they're saying there. Right, so the Colette Baron Reid card today is happy, okay? And I really, really like this. And this is saying, find the joy in the present moment, whatever is happening now, okay? Be satisfied with things as they are now, Because like I say, this is the power of now. Today is all that exists at the moment. The future, it doesn't exist yet. The past is gone. That doesn't exist. It's today. And, you might not have everything you want, but you have everything you need. And if you are constantly waiting if you're constantly longing for something, if you're constantly waiting for like somebody to come along and save you, if it's a relationship you're wanting and you're constantly waiting for this knight in shining armor to come along and then my life will be great, what you are doing is you are keeping that from you. You are stopping happiness. You are putting a full stop on it and saying, I will only be happy if I have this in my life. We all have a choice and we can be happy in an instant. We just need to tell ourselves that we are, So when we are shackled with longing, what we need to do is we need to liberate ourselves, and be happy moment to moment, choose happiness rather than just wishing for it. It is a choice we have, So this is saying, experience contentment, experience joy, and you will see that your world starts to change. When you are happy, I think, was it, Yogi Bhajan again, you say, I love the guy. Make yourself so happy that when others look at you, they become happy too. And this is it. Think about if somebody is happy, if somebody has such a good energy, think about how you feel in their company. And then think about how you feel in the company of somebody where they're going, oh, my life's shit, oh, this is it, isn't life shit? You come away and you start thinking, you know what, life's shit. And it's not, it's happy. We're all, people are complaining, about their life at the minute. There is people in hospital wards, that are, struggling to keep their breath going, So this is it. It doesn't matter what is going on in your life. There is something to be grateful for in it, And like I say, happiness comes. It is a result of when you are following Spirit's plan, when you are accepting, when you believe that all is well and that the tide, everything is happening how it is meant to, Yes, the tide may be turning, but rather than run away from it, because it's going to catch you. Have you ever done that with waves when you're a kid? You run in, the waves always get you, don't they? So run into the waves, enjoy splashing with them. Let go of old expectations. Release the idea that happiness depends on you getting something you want, and just, enjoy the ride. This is what you need to do. Dig down and find that happiness, find that joy. See where your light has gone out and don't expect somebody else to come along and light it for you. You are the only one that you can do that. You are the only one that can encourage your flame to burn again. You are the only one that can go looking for your missing mojo, Because if you're constantly thinking about things that will make you happy that you haven't got, then you are putting a barrier up to your true happiness, You need to remember that you are the magic, all you need to do is switch that magic switch inside. You know, people will say, you know, like, when I've learned it all, when I reach enlightenment, I'll be happy. Be happy along the way. This is what you need to do, because I can guarantee now, if you, to be happy with what you have now, because whatever you're complaining about could be somebody else's idea of heaven, of a dream, you know. Yes, there are always people better off, but there are always people worse off, you know, and we all go through these ups and downs with life. But the key is to find your happiness within it, within the shitstorm. You know, if you are there, like I say, like, this will unlock the door. This will get you out of, you know, out of the shit by just finding happiness. And this usually comes with acceptance, you know. So, sorry, I'm absolutely worn out after that one. But as I say, I give the messages as they come out to me. You know, some may like this message, some may not. You know, at the end of the day, I'm serving, I'm doing what I'm meant to do, okay? And I'm finishing this video and I'm going away and I'm happy. Okay, so that's how it is. If anybody would like a reading with me, please get in touch via my Facebook or via my website. Please remember that I can only take bookings via my website now, you know, so that everything is that is the system now, you know, and that is the way it's going to be from now on. And like I say, thank you to every single one of you who watch these and who appreciate these and take something from them as well, you know. It's like I say, I'm not here to be liked, you know. It's nice, that's great, but you know, this is what my purpose is. I've been told it's just to give these messages out, and you know, sometimes I would much rather not, you know, because I go through these emotions, but this is what I'm meant to do and I'm doing it, you know. So as I say all of the time, please don't shoot the messenger, you know. There is something in it, and you know, if you listen and if you hear, you know, hopefully there is something in it for you, okay? So I'm sending a lot of love, okay, and I'm sending a lot of happiness as well, because you know what, we've only got one life. That's it, and you know, we deserve to be happy, and we can have that happiness. We just need to change our thought. When we're living from the ego, it is usually when we have unhappiness. When we're living from our soul, you know, and trusting the universe, this is when we can sort of stay calm amidst the chaos. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow with the cards of today. Sat Nam.